Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and my name is Ashley. My content on YouTube is very all over the place, and honestly that's kind of like who I am. Pretty much I think of a lot of things, you know, I love a lot of different stuff, so I kind of just wanted to get into like different topics and different things on my channel. I will be doing some fun things like thrift hauls and what's in my bag and like other things like that. I already did a what's in my bag if you'd like to go check that out. But I also want to do things on my channel that spread awareness of different stuff and talk about different things. Featuring my dog Piper and probably the cat somewhere around here. Anyway, what I want to talk about today is pretty much something I've been thinking about lately is career paths. I am 29 years old and I am not on my career path. So a little backstory about myself. When I was a freshman in college, I went to school for graphic design, thinking that graphic design was Photoshop. My high school was a piece of crap and taught Photoshop class as graphic design. So when I entered college, I had a very hard time. I hated graphic design with a passion because I went into college thinking that graphic design was just Photoshop, because I wanted to be a photographer, or at least do it as a side gig. I still do, honestly. I am pretty amateur and I need to brush up on everything ever. But in high school, I had taken quite a few photography classes and thought that was going to be my direction, my calling. I am a person that's very into like the arts. I absolutely appreciate it and love it, and I always wanted to be a photographer. I have a good eye. I love photographing everything and seeing things in a different way. So basically, I know this lighting is harsh, you guys. I am so sorry. I really don't know where to film. So basically, oh my god. Okay, this is my fault for not getting a tripod or anything for my camera or my phone. I should be using my camera, but I'm not. Anyways, so I went to school for graphic design thinking that graphic design was just Photoshop. I absolutely hated it. I was very behind in all my graphics classes because I had no effing clue on what I was doing, because I was taught that graphic design was only Photoshop. So there was InDesign and all kinds of things. Doesn't matter. Thing is I freaking hated it. So what did I do? I didn't know what to do. I knew I wanted to go into either the arts or I love English. I love reading. I love books. I've always loved English class. So I couldn't transfer. My first school did not have an English program, or teaching. They only had early childhood education. So I just transferred into what is called humanities, which honestly I still don't even know what humanities is. So basically, I transferred into that, and what I did was took as many English classes as possible and as many like early childhood things that would get me in the door to going on to my next college and hopefully to my major. So I transferred schools, got into an English program, and that was that. I graduated with a bachelor's of science in English. Since then, I have done numerous jobs. I have been a waitress, a bus girl. I worked in an office, in a cubicle. I have done janitorial type of work. I have been a cashier at a grocery store. And most recently, I have been a floater in a daycare. A floater basically goes from classroom to classroom and fills in for the teacher on their lunch break, so you kind of get to know the kids, which was cool. And right now, I'm still at the daycare, but I'm doing like kitchen duties, long story short, I have had an issue with wanting to choose a career path, I guess. I feel, okay, so when we moved last year, COVID just happened. Before COVID even was a thing, in my mind, I was gonna move, do schooling part-time, and substitute in the schools down here. That's what was in my mind. I was like, cool, I can get my master's, and then, I can be on my way substituting and getting my teaching degree. Well, that's still in my mind. COVID kind of ruined a lot of things. That's still in my mind, and it's still something that I want to try to pursue. This school year is over for them at the schools, but I'm hoping to apply to become a substitute for the next school year and see how that goes, see how I feel, and then, maybe go back to school part-time. I don't know. But here's my thing. From the time you get out of college, that's all you hear. What's your job going to be? What's your career path? What do you want to do? When are you going to start a family? When are you going to get married? When are you going to do... And I know that wasn't really becoming, I'm sorry. But it's just nothing but chaos. You spend, middle school and high school, all you hear about is college. Like, middle school, all you hear about is high school. And then high school, it's getting ready for college. Oh my God, college. And then you get there, or not. That's fine too. You don't have to go to college. But if you do go to college, you get there and you pretty much relearn everything that you ever learned, because basically in grade school, they I don't want to say they lie to you, but they don't tell you the whole truth unless you're probably an AP kid. I guess it depends on the school of what you learn and what you don't. I was a kid that didn't really pay attention in high school just because I felt like all my other friends were smarter than me, and I felt like if I acted like I didn't care, then I wouldn't have come off as either dumb or stupid, or if I tried and failed, then, they wouldn't have seen that if I acted like I didn't care. And which is a stupid thing, and I think a lot of people do that at the time, just because it peer pressure. You don't want to look stupid, you don't want to look a certain way, you don't want to feel a certain way, so you just avoid it, and that's what I did. When I got to college, I learned that I absolutely love learning, and I worked my ass off to get really good grades and to go on and get a bachelor's and graduate, and that was awesome. Well, you get out of college and immediately, literally, this summer you graduate. Everybody, family, friends, other random adults are like, what are you gonna do now? What are you working as now? What's your career path? What are you gonna be doing? And are you getting married? Are you doing this or that? Do you have a boyfriend? And it's once you get out of college, no matter where you are in your life, if you're in a serious relationship, if you're single, if you got out of college and had to work, just any job so you can pay your bills, or if you got out of college and luckily landed the dream job you've been working hard for, no matter what, I feel like people are always going to be oh, or not. I feel like there's always a standard that things are held up this high, jobs are held up this high, and family is down here. And or if you are a woman, if you want a career and you don't want a family, at least right away or not at all, oh my God, people freak out. Or if that's all you want. I've been learning, at a young age, I always wanted a family. Life didn't. Stop. I'm sorry. She barks at other dogs walking by. I don't know if she gets nervous or if she is protective. Hey, can you please stop? Can you lay down, please? Go lay down. Anyways, here. You want your toy? Go get it. So I feel like people are always asking you all these questions, and even if you don't have the answers, you feel you're not good enough. And I feel like that's the problem with society today. That's the problem with just everything. If you don't have your life together right away, then it's it's your, you feel stupid, you feel not good enough, you feel not worthy enough for the outside world. And, and that's kind of like how I've felt since I got out of college. I felt like when I graduated, I felt on top of the world. I felt like I did it. I felt so proud and happy because I worked my ass off to get there. And then it's like, okay, you have to work to pay bills. You have to work to do things. You have to, find any job to kind of live, unfortunately, especially nowadays when, like, you go to the grocery store and get like 5 things and it's $40. Like, it's insane. So kind of my point to this video, which I'm kind of getting into, is why does society hold careers so high? Like, why are you looked at as, down here if you have a certain job? Like I said, I've worked a lot of different jobs, and I've learned, that you get a job and you do the best you can and you work as hard as you can, and then, if you move on, you move on. But every job, it should, to me, there should be no levels. But unfortunately, there is. Like, I have people at any job, including the one I have now, look down on me, or, there's always going to be someone that thinks that they're better than somebody else. And it's unfortunate. I just hate, like, oh, what do you want to do with a career? Oh, you've been out of college this long. Why aren't you in your field yet? And you're just like, because life sucks. Like, like this COVID economy, everything that's been going on. Like, we pay entertainers, actors, singers, fucking, I'm a football and obviously a baseball fan, but, like, they get paid to do the things they love. And why do the rest of us get paid shit to barely make a living for jobs that we hate? And that makes no sense to me. I'm just having a hard time lately because right now where I'm at in my job, I feel like I'm in the same boat that I was, in my hometown where I grew up, where I'm in the same boat as I was at the job I left there to move down here. And I feel like I keep getting into this pattern of me working my ass off for different jobs, different employers, and not, getting enough. I'm not getting paid enough. I'm getting treated like shit. I'm getting, like, every single job, I feel like I'm going above and beyond to get nothing. And then, to feel like, okay, I'm not on the career path that I should be on. And then at the same time, to not even know what I want anymore. Like, all I know is I'm meant to be a mom. I know I want kids. I know, I'm getting married in the fall and we're hoping to have a family life, in the next year or, wherever life takes us. And just, I don't know why a career has to matter more than wanting a family, kind of thing. And I feel like society always looks at you, like, looks down at you for that. And it's like, how are we expected to choose what the hell we want to do as a career or a job at 18 years old? Not even that, 16, 17 years old, because they prep you in high school to do college applications and to figure out what the hell you want to do with the rest of your life. I don't know about you, but my interests and my likes and, different things that I've loved and learned about and different stuff in my life, every single year, it varies. It's different. So how are you expected to choose what you're going to be doing with your rest of your life at 16, 17, 18 years old? She piped in. She definitely is feeling me. But anyway, I mean, how are you expected to choose? At 29 years old, I still don't really know what I want to do. I have an idea of what I always thought I wanted to do, but I haven't gotten to try that field out yet. Like, yes, I worked at a daycare, but I knew I never really... I've always wanted the older kids. I've always wanted high school and college age, and I know a lot more schooling is required for that. But I need to know if I'm going to like it or not. Like, that's why I want to go substitute. That's why I've been wanting to, you know, do that. It's to figure that out. And it's like people expect you, you know, this society, this world expects you to know exactly what you want to do going to college. And then as soon as you get out of college, like, if you don't land your dream job, and then everyone acts like, oh, well, or, oh, it's been this amount of time, like, I'm surprised you haven't found a job in your field. Okay, you're not in your field, sweetie, and you're like, what, 60? I'm just making this up. But seriously, like, hey, can you stop? Hey, can you stop? Piper, come here. Come say hi. Come say. She gets nervous. She was a dog that I rescued her. She was a dog that was kept in a garage, so she never really got to see outside life or see other animals. Baby girl, come here. Baby girl, come here. Go get your toy. Go get your toy. So we're working on that. We're working on like trying to get her like outside more, get her for walks, get her conversing with other dogs and things like that. We've only had her over a week, so it is going to take time, but she's absolutely wonderful. I love her so much. That was a side tangent. But yeah, how are we expected to know what we want to do? I feel like, you know, a lot of us end up taking a job or job after job because we do need to pay bills. You get into that cycle of, oh, I need to pay bills. Oh, I need groceries. Oh, I need, you know, money. And unfortunately, this world runs on money. This world is kind of ridiculous in how expensive everything is. Like, you know, when I was a kid, a gallon of milk, I don't know how much it was. I'm just going to throw a number out there. It was probably like, you know, $1.50. And like, you know, gallons of milk are over $4 now. Like, just stuff like that. And it's just like, people aren't making enough wage to really live with the cost of living. And even if they do raise the minimum wage, if things are going to keep going up, we're still going to be stuck. But yeah, I'm just wondering why we have to know what we want to do for the rest of our lives. Like, why having a career is so important. Like, why, you know, why is it a thing? Why do people feel bad if you're not where other people think you're supposed to be, or where maybe you said you wanted to be 5 years ago, but you're not? Like, life happens, things change, and it's fine. You know, as long as you're happy, and that's kind of a really big point. A lot of people are not happy in their jobs, but if you're happy in your life, that's so important. Unfortunately, many of us do not have that luxury of being happy in our jobs, and I'm not saying that you can't quit your job and go find something else. I'm not saying you have to stay there, but I'm saying that, you know, if you're happy in other areas of your life, that's the most important. And I feel like that's what nobody asks. Like, do you ever realize that? Nobody asks if you're happy. You know, everyone, like, you know, for years and years, I chose to stay single for about 2.5 years, a couple of years back before I met my fiance. I chose to be single because I kept getting screwed over. I kept having really bad and, you know, shitty relationships and narcissistic relationships and toxic relationships. Like, people, just a lot of things I didn't want to deal with anymore. So I chose to stay single for about 2.5 years, and it was just like always a big deal. Like, why don't you go on a date? Like, why don't you do this and that? And like, why don't you bring somebody to Christmas dinner? Or, you know, those Hallmark movies that you see that people like pretend to bring a boyfriend home for Christmas. Like, that's why. It's because we have these such high standards that everybody is holding us to. And you feel like shit if you're not up to that standard or not even anywhere close. And, you know, I've been kind of feeling that way lately because last weekend we went out and hung out with coworkers of my fiance's. And it's like they were so accepting of me and they were so happy and just fun to hang out with and just, you know, and he's lucky, you know, back before we moved, he had an amazing job that he had for a little while and they treated him well, and, you know, when he left that job, they got him a cake, they got him like a gift card, and they were gonna miss him, and they like, you know, they treated him well at that job. And fast forward, you know, when I left my job there, I didn't get anything, nothing. Mom and boss didn't really say much. It was like, oh, you know, good luck, have fun, kind of thing. Like, I didn't get a damn thing. I just turned my ID card in and walked out on my last day, where my fiance had gotten like a cake and all these people, you know, with cards and, you know, all this stuff because his job treated him well. And fast forward down here, same thing. He's got an awesome job, and I couldn't be happier for him because they do treat him well. Because they do seem like good people, and they do things as a staff. Like, they do things as staff. And they do, you know, they seem fun and friendly and accepting and warm. And I find another fucking job where they treat me like shit, and I still go above and beyond, and I don't get paid what I should be getting paid, and no one gives a shit about me. Like, literally, I walk in and walk out every single day. And it sucks. It makes you think, like, where am I going wrong? Like, where, you know, I keep finding the jobs where everybody is petty and everybody is, like, judgmental, and the bosses suck and just aren't, you know, I don't know. That's just my thoughts lately, just because, you know, I've been feeling that way for a while, where it's just like, you know, I keep saying this isn't a forever. Hey, baby girl. You want lamb chop? Go get lamb chop. She loves her lamb chop. Go get it. Anyway, I've been feeling that way for a while, just because come here. I'm sorry. She is cute though. Don't you love her? I love my dog. Again, I've been feeling that way for a while, and it sucks because it's like for the last several years, it seems like any job I find is the same exact damn thing. It's like, how do you find a job that you like and that treats you well? Like, you're just, you know, if you're one of those people that you like your job and your staff and bosses treat you well, you're very lucky, because I feel like it's a rarity. You know, but it's like I'm struggling with, what do I do next? Because honestly, I want a family, and it's like, what do I do? What do I do to accommodate, like, I want to accommodate my life. I don't want to live for my fucking job. I want to accommodate my life. Like, my mom, when I was a baby, when I was born, my parents worked it out so she could be a stay-at-home mom, and my dad worked a few jobs to support us. But now I feel like things have gotten so expensive, you can't really do that. Especially where we live, our fucking minimum wage is several dollars less than where we lived before. So it kind of sucks. But then, you know, you have to factor in, like, if you do daycare, it's expensive, you're not with your kid all the time. And then if you have, like, a stupid 9-to-5 job, you're not getting home till 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night. And it's like, I don't want that. Like, right now, I actually get home earlier. I used to get home after 6, and now I get home, like, around 4, which is great. But, you know, why does your career, why does your job, your employer, have to take over your life? And that's kind of my point. Like, why is it everything to society? Do you know what I mean? Like, why? Your happiness should be everything to society. Like, how you feel should be everything to society. Like, why isn't happiness up here? No one asks you if you're happy. No one asks you, like, you know, people are quick to judge. Oh God, I hate that haircut. Oh, I hate that outfit. Oh, she didn't go to school. Oh, she worked, you know, she went to college this many years, and now she's not even in a career that she went to college for. Or, you know, this person doesn't want kids, or this person has 10 kids. Like, why are we so judgmental? Is what I want to know. Like, why does it matter what other people are doing? Why are careers more important than your happiness? Or, you know, because honestly, if, you know, I want to guess 97% of the population just goes to their fucking job. They don't absolutely love it. You're lucky if you love your job. You're lucky if you're a paid actor, singer, you know, athlete, whatever, because you're doing what you fucking love and getting paid millions for it. While the rest of everybody else has to suck it up and work shitty jobs just to feed their families. Like, that's a sad thing, right? And it's, you know, backwards. It has been backwards for a long time, and I feel like it's still that way. You know, the whole COVID thing, I get it, but I worked 3 different jobs the entire pandemic. The only time I did not work was 1 month when we moved down here, and every single day I applied to jobs and jobs and jobs. And when we moved, nobody was hiring because everything had shut down. So they weren't not hiring. So I was out a month. But other than that, I worked 3 different jobs this entire pandemic. I was essential in my first job. I worked as a cashier when I moved down here and found a job. And then I worked at a daycare. All of them had to deal with dealing with other people, dealing with public, dealing with germs and uncleanliness, all of that. So sorry, not sorry. There's no excuse unless you got laid off or whatever. Like, I don't want to say that. I don't want to offend anybody. It's not how it came out in my mind. Erase that. Honestly, what I'm saying is there's a lot of people that are choosing to just not work but then complain about it. And they're getting income for not doing anything. And then there's other people that did get laid off from their jobs or got furloughed and they cannot return to work. That's a different story. But I don't want to talk about COVID. I don't want to talk about jobs. I just want to talk about why careers are up here, why you have to choose a career path, and why it's your value. Why is your job your value? You know, shouldn't society value your happiness? And that is the point to this video. So I'm basically signing off on that. Why isn't your happiness valued more? Why is your career, you know, your whole worth, your whole everything? And that, it doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. You know, no one wants to get up and go to work every day, again, unless you love your job. But most of us do it because we have to. So why is it your value? You know, like, even if you did pick a career and you're working it and you really don't love it as much as you used to, or you don't love it as much as you thought you did, or you were going to, you know, why is it valued that much? Because I guarantee nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to get up and go to a fucking job and waste their life. You know, no one wants to waste their days and spend time away from loved ones and their families and actually enjoying life, like going out and doing things you want to do. No one wants to do that. And that's why I'm wondering, like, why it's so important that you are held as a certain standard as to what your job is, or people expect so much of you. I think it should be your happiness. Honestly, I wish people asked if you're happy, or if, you know, how are things in your life, instead of, oh, how's your job, or how is work, or whatever. Like, why isn't it, oh, how, you know, I don't know, I lost my train of thought. Like, why aren't people asking if you're happy, or how is your life going other than your job? I feel like the standards that are held for us all, it's so much pressure. There's a lot of pressure, and it sucks because as kids there's different kinds of pressures. Growing up into, you know, being a teenager, there's different kinds of pressures. Being a college student, there's different kinds of pressures, and then being an adult, all that pressure I feel like is combined and like pushed onto you as to, you know, who you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to look like, how society views you, how society thinks you should look and dress and act. And, you know, it's too much. Why can't it be, you know, why can't society spread happiness, like spread the value of happiness? And that is my point to this video. So with that, please comment below, are you happy with your job? If yes, why? What kind of job do you have? How did you get there doing what you love? If not, are you in your job just because you need to make money? Or have you been there X amount of years and you need the retirement? Are you going to do something to change your job? You know, are you happy in your life other than your job? Do you love your life other than your job? Are you happy? Comment down below what you think. I guess she's chiming in too. Comment down below. I love you all. And do what you can to make yourself happy, because that is the most important in this life. So I hope everyone had a great Wednesday, and see you next time.